where it's all about reading our Bibles, but today it's a live chat. Remember, we had said we'll be doing one live a week, and today is not any different. We are going to be doing our live. I'm sorry for the changes. We were supposed to be doing a live on Sundays, every Sunday, but due to unavoidable circumstances, this live is switched to Sundays. It's a Friday nights. So those of you who have tuned in, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much. Giving us time so that we can all be able to tune in. And if you have a friend, let them know that the live chat is on. We are trying to set up, and you're welcome on board. Today it's all about money. That's the chat we are going to be having. Talking about money, how can you handle money? We're going to be talking about so many things. Thank you so much for tuning in. Subscribers, you are amazing. I see our numbers growing all the time. And those of you who are dropping by for the very first time, you're welcome. And I request my camera person to let me know if my camera is not crooked, if it is straight. I need to know if the sound is okay before we go any further. I need to know if the picture is good because we are just going to start. So I need to know all this. Just give us a few minutes and we'll be able to start. It's all about money and wealth or finances. The number that normally runs across the channel that runs down is to really give us an opportunity to, have a say on what topics you would want to hear or discuss. Now, there are many topics that are out there, but whatever topic you want to hear discussed on this channel is what you can suggest in the comments. And then on Fridays, the switching up time has switched to Friday. So on Friday, we'll be discussing that topic. But someone dropped in a comment and said they would want a discussion about funds or finances or money. So I broadened it to wealth, money, finances, funds, whatever you may call that concerns money. That's what we are talking about today. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, subscribers. And please go on and tell friends so that we can together build ourselves. This is a live chat. Feel free to call in. The number is plus 256 762 599 138. That's the number to call in if you want to call in, and we'll try and arrange how we can put you in, fix you in. Otherwise, you are welcome. We are talking about money. It's all about finances, all about money, all about wealth. And I'm taking all this time just to go about 5 minutes so that we make sure everyone is tuned in and the picture is good. Guys, anytime you hear my sound going low, please let me know so we can adjust it. And the picture, you let me know so that we can also work on it. Otherwise, before we go any further, we are going to pray and welcome the Holy Spirit. He's the one who guides us. Guys, there's no event that goes on without prayer. Whether you've gone off to the witch doctor, or you've gone to church, or you've gone to the mosque, or you've gone to the temple, anywhere that we go, prayer is the key thing. And on this channel, we normally pray and ask God to guide us. So let us pray. Father in heaven, we bless you. Thank you for yet another time in your presence. We ask that you come and talk to us. Come and guide us. Come and lead us. Come and be with us. And may someone be blessed today and guided on their path of life. And especially the one who suggested finances. Thank you, and may you bless everyone that has tuned in. In Jesus' mighty name we have believed and prayed. Amen and amen. We are talking about money and wealth. Those of you who have just tuned in, you're welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to keep the number this time a bit high. If we go below 10, then I'll go off. But if we are above 10, then we'll stay online. So those of you who are joining in, just keep in mind, if you see me cutting off, after we've discussed topics, then it's because the numbers have dropped and probably everyone is turning in off to bed. Otherwise, we are going to talk about money. And these are some of the topics that we are going to talk about. What is money? How can we get it? Who can get it? Where is money? At what age can we make money? Guys, these are topics that we are going to be talking about. How can we keep our money? How can we lose money? What can money do? Does God have money? Does he recognize money? Can he give us money? Does it please him when we have money? These are the different topics we are going to talk about. The dangers of money. Does good deeds increase wealth or riches? What are some of the things we can do to grow our wealth or money? Those are some of the things or topics that we are going to be talking about. I hope you're excited as I am, and feel free, because it's a live chat, to also join in, drop in your comments, and together let us discuss money. Give me your life experience. We dedicated our lives to life. It is a live chat that deals with money and issues concerning money. Issues concerning life. So anything that concerns life will be discussed on our lives. Each time we tune in on a live show, it will be either to discuss anything that concerns money, whether it's relationships, money, jobs, life, anything that you can think about is what we'll be talking about on our live chats. And today is not any different. Those of you who have tuned in, we are talking about money. It's all about money. So grab your cup of tea. If you're going to be eating, get your food and let us together just talk. It's about talking about life. And this time around, we're just going to be talking about money. So those of you who have tuned in and you want to hear about money, yeah, it's what we are going to talk about. And the very first question is, what is money? Money is anything valuable that you have that can give you a better life. Yeah, you can exchange it for anything and use it. I'm calling it money, but I'll also expand it to wealth. Wealth are resources, anything that can help you get by in life easily. Now, in this case, when we talk about money, anyone can have money. That means anyone, because money or wealth is anything that you can use to develop your life, to develop yourself, is money. It's wealth, it's your riches. Have you ever had a piece of land and they dig it up? Those cases are very common with Americans, where they have resources in their grounds and the government allows them to keep them. Well, I'm coming in from Uganda and I don't know anyone who has ever found any mineral that has been allowed to keep it. I think the government just takes over. I don't know how it works, but that's not something we are here to talk about today. Today we are going to be talking about money. How can we get money? How can we get money in this life? We can get money in so many ways. One of the ways we can get money is through working hard, through going to school. You can get money when you get married into wealth. You know, there are those who have had it easy and they just get themselves married into money. Others can get it through theft. Others can get it through inheritance. You can get money in so many ways. And don't forget, there's the blessing of God, because the blessing of God can make you rich in a blink of an eye. I know this is going to be something that anyone who hears will doubt, but I tell you, God can really bless you with money. I'm talking about tangible money, not this time anything complicated to stand in for money, but real money. God can give you money. I mean, there are times you're broke and you're thinking, maybe if I found a bag of money. Well, that may not happen, but God can really bless you. In other words, how does God bless us with money? you work hard and He allows your hands to be fruitful. He can also allow you to inherit it. He can allow you to get married to someone who has money. He can allow you to get that big job and get that money. He can allow you to find it on your account. Miracles do happen, guys. I found there was a place I was. I had gone to the UK, and then we were planning to get married, and miraculously, the day we set the wedding date is when we found about £200 on my account, and we tried to look around and see who deposited that money, but we could not find him. So that, to me, that was a miracle that had happened. Now, I know it's unbelievable when we say you can find, God can give you money, miracle money. I mean, if I started testifying about ways I've found money, I don't remember ever putting it's countless times, because God has done it that way. And I know it will be hard for you to believe, but again, feel free to give me your experiences, whether you've ever picked money or whether someone has ever, given you money. Hello, Jasper. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for being the very first person to comment. You are welcome. And those of you who are tuning in for the very first time, today we are talking about money. It's all about money. Feel free to give in your life experiences. It's a live chat. Go ahead and give us your experiences about life. And this time round, we're talking about money. So your experiences with money, how you've dealt with it. That things that we're talking about is, what is money? Who can get money? How can we get money? How can we get it? Where is the money? How to keep our money? What age can we make money? How can we lose money? What can money do? Does God have money? Does He recognize money? How can we give? Can He give us money? Does it please God for us to have money? These are the different topics that we are talking about today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Those of you who have tuned in for the very first time, you're welcome. And I hope you'll be blessed and you keep it right here, because today is all about life. And in the topics of life, we are going to be talking about money. Some of the topics that we are going to talk about is the dangers of money. Does God give us money? Do good deeds increase our wealth and money? What are some of the things we can do to grow our wealth? Those are different topics that we're going to talk about. And so those of you who have just tuned in, I was just trying to let you know what we are going to be talking about today. How can we get money is where we have been at. We were talking about how can you get money. Today, our live was switched from Sunday. We normally do lives on Sundays, but that has changed for now. And until further notice, we'll be doing our lives every Friday. So if you're one who has been following every Sunday about the changes, it's going to be every Friday. Friday 9:30 we'll be starting, and so keep that time marked, and you'll be able to join us every single time. The other issue that we are going to be talking about, who can get money? There are so many ways, like I said, you can get money. That means because there are so many ways we can get money, there are so many ways. There are so many people who can get money, and there are so many ways we can lose it. So today, if you've had any experience with money, guys, go ahead and tune in, share your life experience, and go ahead as well and call in. The number to call is +256 762 599 138. That's the number. You can feel free to call in. Otherwise, you can text, because it's a live chat. Go ahead and text your experience. We are talking about life. This time is dedicated to life. And today, someone suggested that we talk about money. So it's an open discussion, guys. You feel free to also drop in your comments about money, how you can invest it, how you can grow your money, at what do you think? What are your opinions about money? Those are the areas that we are covering today. And those of you who are dropping by for the very first time, you're welcome. We are talking about at what age, sorry, where is the money? No, we've actually skipped. We are on who can get money. Guys, anyone can get money. Just like there are so many ways that we can get money, anyone can get money. So I believe if you've got money, any way you have got money, feel free to share. And probably we'll get ideas on how we can develop ourselves and make ourselves better, or even have the faith to get money. Does money have an age limit as to when you can get it? Those are some of the topics that we are going to talk about. Those of you who are tuning in for the very first time, you're welcome. Thank you so much for dropping by. Those of you who have subscribed, thank you so much. Today we are talking about money, life experiences. So all our lives are dedicated to life. So our lives before were on Sunday at 9:45, but now we switched them off to Friday 9:30. So if you enjoy live chats, go ahead and tune in, and you'll be able to join us. The number to call if you want to join in and give your opinion is +256 762 599138. And you can drop in comments because this is a live chat. Feel free to drop in your comments. It will be read. Jemima, you said hello. Hello, my dear. Thank you for tuning in. You said I'm always touched by your videos. Thank you so much for always watching. Kira and Corey, these videos are basic. Thank you so much for always watching and tuning in. Sooner, Josh, we start. Yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, just a quick reminder. Today we are talking about money, and the topics to discuss are what is money, how can we get it, who can get money, where is the money, at what age can one get money, how to keep our money, how can we lose money. Those are some of the topics that we're going to be talking about. What can money do? Does God have money? Does he recognize money? Can he give us money? Does it please him for us to have money? The dangers of money. Does good deeds increase our wealth or money? What are some of the things that we can do to grow our wealth or money? So those are some of the topics that we are going to handle today. And feel free, guys, to drop in your opinions. And this topic was sent in by someone. The number normally that runs across the screen, the +256 762 599138. Normally you put in your topics that you would want to be discussed on the live chats, and so today is one of those. Suna Josh says from Kayunga, do me, I have a problem in saving. Oh, yeah, we are going to be talking about all that. And what is money? Money for me, this is how I would put it, is anything that we have with us that can help our lives get better. It can better you from the life you're living today to another life that you hope to have. Because if you have money and you are going to go hungry, trust me, you'll not go hungry because you'll be able to get that which you want because you have the money. And the lack of it would mean that you would not be able to get those things that you would ideally have, or the food that you'd be able to buy. Guys, money has messed up relationships. If you don't have money, there are people who cannot stand poverty. I know of girls or ladies that are like, if you don't have money, I don't care how you look. As long as you have money, I will stay with you. So it's key that we have money for those of us who are looking at relationships. But also, money is needed for self-esteem. Money is needed to be able to live lives that are pleasing, lives that are comfortable, lives that are prestigious. We all need money. So it's not something that one can say that I don't need. We all need money. Sooner Josh talked about having a problem in saving. There are so many ways that we can save our money. And it's a discipline. Just to answer what Suna just talked about, if you are struggling to save money, this is one way you can do it. Purpose. The reason why people don't save is because they don't have goals in life. Have a goal in life. Put out, some of us call it dreams, but it's actually having, a purpose in life, having a dream of your own is what we call dreaming, but it's actually having goals in our lives on how to better ourselves. But each time you do not have a goal in life, you can never save. I know of people who earn millions, but because that money keeps on coming every month, they spend it simply because they are sure it will come in next time. An example, I come from Uganda. Guys, feel free to let me know where you're calling in from or texting in from. It's a live chat. Those of you are tuning in for the very first time, Fridays is dedicated to lives. So we will be doing lives every Friday at the same time, 9:30. But today someone dropped in a comment that they wanted to discuss money. And today that's what we are talking about, money. Now, if you do not have goals in life, you can never grow your money. You need to have goals in life. Those are our pushers that help us be able to save and grow our money. I'm skipping all the questions for now and going off to Suna's question that he has a problem of saving money. The reason why we have issues of saving money is because we don't have goals. Dream, Suna, dream. Those people, I come from Uganda, those people, we have people who drive borders. And those guys get money on an hourly basis or a minute basis because they can drop you there and the next thing they are getting someone on board and taking them somewhere else. But because that money keeps on coming, they spend it recklessly. I have never seen people who do sports betting like border men in Uganda, where I come from. You see their borders packed. Borders, those of you who are tuning in for the very first time, are those motorcycles and who are watching in from other places. You're so much welcome. Borders are the motorcycles that we have in Uganda that ferry people from one place to another. We use them as transport in Uganda. But those people get money on a minute basis because he could take you for 5 minutes to a distance that is not very far and you get off and someone else gets on board. But because that money keeps on coming easily, guess what they do? They spend it easily. They find themselves with so many women and they find themselves drinking, betting, because the ladies love money. We are like flies that fly to anything that is smelling like money. So I wouldn't mind going to you because I know any minute when you come home and there's no sugar, and then I say there's no sugar, then you tell me you don't have money. I would be like, okay, I would wait. How many minutes should I give you? Because I know you will be able to get someone on the road and be able to buy that sugar. So having goals in life will keep us focused on how we can save money. So Sooner, goals in life. I know of someone who used to earn a lot of money and did not dream, but would take his friends out and treat them to nice meals and give them some booze. And anyone who needed anything, he would just give because once he's happy, he gives money. But now he's changed his life around. He's learning to save. Now, this is how I push him. I tell him, go ahead, buy land. Now, land is not cheap. But again, there are all different pieces of land out there. Have goals, Sooner, have goals. You can say, I'm just going to buy land. Land, even when you already have land, buy another piece of land. Save for it. Either you say, I'll deposit I'll put in a tin, or I'll deposit on someone's account, or I'll lock my account for this long, or I'll give it as if you're earning big, I'll give it as installment on a piece of land that I want to secure. And that will be your drive. Before you know it, it becomes a habit. You never get money and blow it all in one day. Having no goals will always keep us behind and keep us from developing. But having goals will push us. I've seen this person getting his life on track. I mean, he bought his land and he got his plans drawn and approved because every stage requires money. It calls him to save. And there's nothing free in this world. I don't know where you're watching from or who you are, but there's nothing free in this world. And because there's nothing free, when we have goals, these goals will keep us focused. Have goals. Say like this year, I have to buy a piece of land and buy it. How many of you have seen the rich wear their money? I mean, look at them and they bought the most expensive suits. It's us who do not have that normally look our money. You don't have, you actually want to go and impress a lady out there and then you go buy this expensive perfume. I know of someone who said, when I'm going to impress the ladies, I buy this expensive perfume of 250,000. And you look at him, his rent is 150,000 Ugandan shillings. And he's buying a perfume of 250,000. And sometimes he can even, have a lip and just go for the one of 500,000, 500,000. But that is to me foolishness. Anytime you look the money that you have with you, then you are poor. You cannot ever wear a suit of 20 millions when you can't even have more than 2 of those suits. Or the moment you can only afford 1, that means you're spending beyond your income. You need to be with things that you can afford. Even if it is taken, you can always replace it. But if you have only 1, and that once that is gone, there's no way you can have it replaced, then you're foolishly spending your money. I see a comment here I wanted to respond to. Amin Rohim, hello, my dear. Welcome to the live chat. And I see here Audrey, hello, my dear. Thank you so much for tuning in. And Suna Josh, yeah, ma'am, I'm a hotel work. I'm getting 300,000 and 5,000 always, but I don't dear every day. Oh, you don't save every day. Now, I don't know what language that you prefer Suna to be spoken to and where you're watching from. It is a discipline. Can you imagine you earn 5,000? There's someone I know who earns 10,000 a day, but she also earns 5,000 on the side for transport. Now she does that every day. But I told her to start the habit of saving, have a goal. Before she had no dreams, and it felt like life had, given up on her. And she had lost all dreams. Then I told her, have dreams. Then she started dreaming of buying land. My dear, these days she's dreaming and dreaming really big. Sometimes I'm scared of her dreams. She wants to buy land. She wants to go to America or Europe. And she's saving for tickets and money that she would spend before she gets a job. And I'm like, yeah, you go, girl, go dreaming. So you can also do that. Having goals sooner will help you. You'll be able to achieve so much. I've seen this person that I've just been talking to you about. When I have so many channels, guys, those of you are dropping by for the very first time, I have a channel of cooking. It's called Winfred Cooking at Home, made easy. In case you like meals, go ahead and check it out. And I've also got a channel of building projects with Winfred. Now that channel was inspired because I had to push this person, my brother, to actually get his life going. I used to see how he has money and it just goes through his hands all the time. So I told him, now we are going to do something. You will buy land and not cheap land. You will buy land and not just any land. It has to be titled land. So we went and looked for titled land. Now, titled land does not come cheap, but lease land comes cheap. Compared to titled land, lease land is cheaper. So once we got on board, let's start doing dreaming. Guess what he started doing? He got one of his friends, and his friend was selling him a house that was already built. It was a 3-bedroomed house. It's 3-roomed house, actually, not 3-bedroom, 3-roomed house. And he was charging it about 50 million. And my brother was excited. He wanted to buy it because it seemed cheap. Then I told him, let's go and pay a visit to that place. Remember, it was from not having a dream to having a dream. Now that he has a dream, he's ready to go with anything. Again, have a dream, but also be selective on that dream. You don't just settle for anything. Even if it comes to getting a wife or buying a car, don't just buy because it's a car. After all, it can take me. Be inspired. The kind of car you want, yeah, what it can do for you. Even when you're buying a car, what is its consumption rate, yeah. When we follow all that, sorry about that, someone was calling through. When we follow all these dreams and have goals, you don't just settle for anything. Just like when you're eating food, you don't just eat anything that they serve. You have to be picky. So even in those goals, be selective. Sooner you who has a problem, have goals of land. I don't know whether you have land, but anyone, like I said, the topics that we are going to be talking about: what is money? Who can get it? Where is the money? What age can we make money? How can we lose money? What can money do? Does God have money? Does it please him for us to have money? Does he recognize money? Those are the things we are going to talk about. What can give us money? The dangers of money. We are also going to be talking about, does good deeds increase our wealth or money? And we are also going to be talking about what are some of the things we can do to grow our wealth. So if you're one who is interested and you've had any topic, go ahead, send in your comment, or you can even call in on +256 762 599 138, or you can drop in a comment just like Suna, Audrey, and Jasper have done, and give us your opinion on money and something that you would also want to suggest. Otherwise, those are the things that we are going to be talking about. Sooner, you said that is your problem. You have 300,000. Let's work on you, Sooner, for now. You earn 300,000 and 5,000 every day. Yeah. Now, 300,000 comes in at the month end, but 500,000 comes in daily. I'm assuming that is what you said. Now, if that is your income, do you know 5,000 saved? You cannot save it because you need to transport yourself. You need to eat. I don't know whether that also is inclusive of your lunch and transport. But if it's not, and it's just 5,000 you earn on a daily, I know you need transport. I also don't know where you work from. If I knew those things, maybe we could work out a plan on how you can save. But once your salary comes, I don't know how much you're paying in terms of rent, how many times you buy clothes. Many of us have a habit of living a life of competition. It's not a race, guys. What your neighbor has, you don't know what they did to get. What your friend has, you don't know what they did to get. Like we said, how can we get money? There are so many ways you can get money. Some of us have inherited money. Others have married into money. Others have stolen that money. Others are working so hard, are blessed to have nice jobs to be able to get that money. So there are so many ways. Others have good friends. Like some of us having those rich friends that always pull your hand up, and so you find yourself a bit having a better life than you would before. So there are many ways we can get money. Now, because there are many ways we can get money, we cannot be able to save the same way. Did you know that if it was like that, God would have made all of us to be pilots? But guess what God did? He made some of us farmers, others teachers, others cooks, others auditors, others lawyers, others accountants, carpenters, different trades. Why? Because every one of us has an ability to do something or to excel at something. But the problem is we abandon that thing that we are excellent in and go for that thing we think will give us money. That is why we fail in life. Otherwise, if we all did what we are capable of doing, what we are built to do, we are able to excel. And that is a guarantee. We are all able to live. I know of someone, I come from Uganda. Those of you who are watching in, you can feel free to also tell me where you're watching in from. But I come from Uganda, but I know of a man who made local pancakes. He used to sell those. He started off from a wooden wheelbarrow that's where he would put his pancakes and take them from one place to another and sell. Later on, he got a motorcycle and would put a container and sell pancakes. Later on, I found him on a tuk-tuk selling pancakes. He later upgraded and got us a seven-seater car that he bent over and turned into a carrier car that carries around his pancakes. And now he's got different places he supplies pancakes, supermarkets. But can you imagine he became a millionaire from selling pancakes, things that you would underlook most of the time. But because we always want to do what everyone else is doing, I mean, that is so common. We always want to do what the other one is doing. We all cannot be the same. If we all stick to different goals in life, different abilities that we have been given by God to do, I'm sure the world will be a better place. There will be no, ill wishing for the other. There will be no witchcraft against the other because we are all doing that which we are best at. So now I don't know what you're doing, but I will go back to you. I don't know how much you're paying. You're paying in terms of rent, whether you're still with your parents or you're living with a friend. But normally, if you want to develop in this life, you need to cut yourself off from those big circles where you hang out every Friday and just drink. You don't have a merry party. No. That has got to stop. Because if we hang out in groups, you have to allow yourself to separate yourself from others. The moment it happens, how it happens actually naturally, you do not disconnect yourself from people. It just happens because you stop spending, they stop hanging out with you. And guess what? You start saving. I don't know who you're hanging out with and how your expenditure is, but normally the circles that we keep either increase our expenditure or decrease it. If you hang out with people who have shop clothes all the time or shoes and just come to show off, you find yourself spending all your money on shoes and clothes that don't even last for long. Because before you know it, your friend has also got another shoe and also you want to go and get it. You find they've got a smartwatch. You're like, how much is it? I'll get it. Then you start getting it on credit. I know of someone who went and wanted to get a phone and was willing to go and pay on it installments of, if you pay it up front, it's 450,000. But if you don't pay for it up front, you pay actually 875. No, actually it was double the amount. It was about 980,000. And I told her, why don't you just save and buy it? Yeah. Even if you save 10,000, you'll be able to get anything in life. So now, even if on your salary of 300, you're just only able to save 50, as long as you keep that constant 50 saved. Open up an account, open up an account and make it a fixed deposit account where the money that you bank on there does not get off until a certain period. Say like after 2 years, you do not withdraw. The bank will help you on that one because even when you find yourself on the wall, you will not be able to draw that money. Guess what? You find yourself forced to save. As long as you make it a habit, every month you're paid, you take 50,000 to the account. You'll be able to have many things. There are so many things that we can have in life that the rich people seem to have, but we can only dream of. You can dream, I wish I also could be able to, eat in that restaurant because you see the rich going there. You can't afford it. But how? Purpose to save until you can afford more than 10 meals in that restaurant. Do you go there? There's a time for everything under the sun, the Bible says. There's a time for everything. And because there's a time for everything, it is not yet time for you to eat in that restaurant. So save. Dreams, goals will keep us pushed and focused on what we want. I hope sooner that answers your question and helps you on the journey of saving. Or you can say, I'm going to buy land. I know you get 300,000, but the habit of saving, guess what it does? It keeps that money, having big goals will keep you focused on your goals of saving. Say like you earn 300,000 and you're like, I'll buy land. One day I'll buy land. You keep on saving. There are people who are opportunistic, who sell things because they maybe want to travel. They've just got an abrupt problem. Like one time I was here and someone called me and said he's in the UK. He needs 1 million. No, he needs 3 million, but he's got a Mercedes Benz, a BMW, sorry. He's got a BMW, these big ones, that if I can give him 3 million, he will use that as security. I had the money to give him, yeah? But I was like, first, you have to give me the paperwork that concerns the car, and then you have to sign the transfer. The moment I told the guy that, I was not going to take his car because I don't want a BMW, not yet. I think I don't even have use for it. But I wanted, because he had signed that, if he had agreed to sign the transfer, that would push him to pay back my money with interest. So you have also got to have goals. Because I asked him to sign the transfer and give me the papers concerning the car, I was not excited that, oh, I'm going to get a BMW, because that's how they trick you. And then he brings the BMW. Those cars have trackers. And that's how police comes and says, we found that car, it was stolen and we found it in your compound. And they put you behind bars. Because you are so ambitious, you land yourself in trouble. So much as we are looking to save, we also have to be wise. Now, he did not borrow that money because I asked for that. I told him I'm not ready to drive a BMW. I mean, its consumption rate in terms of fuel is very high. But I was going to get it and I knew he would pay back my money. But if he had failed to pay the money, then I would have sold the car because I had the transfer papers, and then be able to get back my money and probably also do something else as investment. So it is good to save, because once you can save, you'd never know what problem arises, and you are the problem solver and can actually sort that problem out. So sooner, it is good that you start saving, my dear, regardless of how much. You can purpose out of the 300 just to take off 50 and spend the 250, and also spend the 5,000 a day, but purpose every month I'll save 50. There is no figure saved that is too small. Any amount that you choose to save can grow, and you can watch it grow. There are so many ways of saving. There are what they call trust funds. I don't know whether you've heard of them. Trust funds are also very good. They are credible. You can search about them, because everything now is on Google. You can Google and find out about them. You can watch your money grow on a daily basis. You put the money there, watch it grow, but day by day. And then you can choose to withdraw the interest that has grown off your money and be able to, use that on a daily basis, or on a weekly basis, or on a monthly basis. But there are so many ways, again, you can lose money. There are many ways of losing money, but also there are many ways of increasing it. But I don't want us to skip the topics that we're going to discuss before how to grow our money comes in. So I'll go back to where we started off from. I hope sooner that helps. And guys, feel free, this is a live chat, to drop your comments. Tell me where you're watching from, your challenges about life. And today we are talking about money. It's all about money, or what we call wealth, and how you can grow your wealth. We are talking about how can we get money? This is just a recap for those of you who have just tuned in. It's a live chat. Go ahead, call in if you want on +256 762 599 138. You'll be able to be heard, or drop in the comments because it's a live chat. Drop in the comments your opinion about money or anything else for that matter that you would want to talk about. We are dealing with finances today simply because someone dropped in the comments that they would want a discussion about money. That's why we are talking about money today. And on back to our topics that we're following, how can we get money? Like I said, you can get money through marrying well. There are people who have gotten married in families that are rich, guys. There are people who, again, not all of us can get married into rich families, but there are those who have gotten married in rich families. So that's one way you can get money. There are those who have stolen it. I mean, let's not play a bit around the bush. There are people who are real thieves and they steal their money, and that's why you see they are rich, driving around town with big cars, and living in these big mansions. But all they have done is stolen money. I'm not saying we should steal, but there are people who have gotten their money that way. There are those who have got money because they inherited it, because their parents died and they were wealthy and left them all this money and they don't know what to do with it. Their future was set. They were married, they were born into money. They are those ones. But again, there are those who have worked so hard, who are willing to work hard like sooner to get rich or have money. They work every day. You wake up every day to go and hustle so you can get money. There are those ones as well. And there are those ones who God has just blessed. Believe you me, let it be a point of discussion. If you don't believe that God can bless you with money, you give me your opinion why you think God cannot bless you with money, but also God can bless you with money. Why am I using God as a person who can bless us with money? The world that we live on is His. And because it is His, everything that is on it, He has control over. I'll give you an example. This is the world. Yeah, my book is the world. Do you see my small notes on there? This is you, me, your friends, your uncle, my grandmother, everyone. This is all of us on here. For example, I can put different pens to represent us in the different continents that we are watching in from or where we are coming from. This is different people living on the planet Earth. Now, the Bible says He's got the whole world in His hands. Now, let's imagine I am God, and these are my hands, and this is the world. You and everyone else that you know is on that planet. I can see from here what is here, and I can see what is here, I can see what is here, and I can move this to here and move this to here. That is God. So that means if it is money, there's nothing too big for Him. He can still bless you with money. Either He shows you where it is or guides you into making it. Simple things that can hit really big and you make money so well. Everyone wonders how you got wealthy. So there are those who have gotten wealthy because, God has blessed them. Let us not forget that God blesses people with money. Now, the other topic I wanted us to talk about, who can get money? Now, because there are many ways we can get money, that means anyone can get money. Anyone, whether it is children, because if I'm wealthy and I die, I can leave all my money to my children so they can become wealthy. You can be adopted into someone's family, or someone can just leave you everything and you're not in the least related. So those things also happen, and someone can send you money. So anyone can get money. So if that is a question that you've had, and you all probably think you can never be rich, guys, anyone can be rich and anyone can have money. The thing is, there are things attached to that. There are things we do that can keep money away, and there are things we do that can push away that money. Things like most men, I actually feel sad because most men do bet. Betting is one thing that can lead you to the bottom of poverty with your eyes open. How? I know of a friend. I actually call him a friend because he approached me one time and he said, "Don't ever borrow money from microfinances." But before he got to microfinances, he told me about sports betting. He told me that the people who do sports betting get the money that you give in and do all sorts of witchcraft on it, and you are bound. You are bound and you can never leave betting. So you always, anytime you get 50,000, you're off to bet until they take all of it, and then you go back with nothing and hustle again, get 30. They take it. It's like literally you're working for them. So if you're one who has struggled for that, you need help to stop betting because you'll never ever get rich. Betting gives you the false hope that maybe they took this one today, but tomorrow I'll get. You will not get it. It's a lie, and it's one avenue that has been planted in your way to make sure that you never progress. You can only dream of these things, but never ever be able to get them. Another man who drives a boda boda, he told me himself that a boda boda, guys, those of you who don't know, it is that motorcycle that people use in Uganda. Google about it, you'll find out what a boda boda is. People use them in Uganda for transport and to get from one place to another. It's normally cheap to get around using a boda boda and fast. But again, it's risky. But many of us use those boda bodas. Now, he told me that he sent his wife when she was 6 months pregnant to the village because he had betted all the money for rent and the landlord was sending them out of the house. But he did not tell the wife what was about to happen. So the wife thought the husband had sent her to the village to be with the parents while she prepares to give birth. And when she was done, 6 months down the line, she was calling the man, "I want to come back home." The man is saying, "You can't come." And I asked him, "Why were you not able to get your wife and baby back?" And he said, "I love them, but I bet every single day and I sleep in a lodge. I cannot be able to pay rent anymore. Anytime I get money, I just go and take it to sports betting and they take it." So, guys, if you want to get rich, betting is one. Our generation is so deceived that we can get money quickly or easily. There is a saying as well that easy come, easy go. Whatever you easily get, you will easily lose. An example, I plant beans and you plant jackfruit, and another one plants coconuts. I will be eating in about 3 months my beans, and the one for jackfruit in about maybe 6 years. But the one for coconuts will take some time. You actually may grow, and if you die early, you may grow and die without eating those coconuts, but leave them for your kids to eat. Now, with that, guys, except for the GM products that are coming up, that grow in, as you sneeze, they have grown up, which are not again good for you. But those ones which are organic would take time. So making money or getting money would be best if you got it the right way. But first come money, that money that comes from betting, it gives you false hope and it can never come. Another thing that causes people to lose money, just like I said, who can get money? Anyone can get. But again, now who can keep it? We all have those opportunities where we have breaks from luck because the Bible says, I keep on referring to the Bible, those of you are wondering why. It is because this channel is all about reading the Bible from Genesis all the way up to Revelation and trying to understand it on a small scale. Now, today on all our live chats, we don't talk about, we don't read the Bible, but we talk about life. Do life like life is. So because of that, that's how we ended up on money. Otherwise, I refer to the Bible because this channel is purely dedicated to reading the Bible. Now, the Bible says about money that actually I deviated from what I was going to say. The Bible says about money that there's nothing too difficult for him. And remember, he gives and he takes. So there is nothing, and whatever if through your sweat you will earn. So there are people who have earned money because of hard work. Like I'm imagining Suna has. Now, where is the money? Is the next question. Where is money? I mean, they talk about money, money, money. Where is money? Everyone wherever God has placed you, there is money. But the thing is, we tend to overlook. Have you ever been served food and instead of looking in your plate, you're looking in other people's plates? That is how we are going on about money. Everyone has a measure that God has given you. And that measure, if you stick to it, will help you get to higher heights. You wait until you'll be able to save 1 million a month, and that time will never come. And yet you are right now at a stage of saving 50,000 a month. Do that. I mean, if you're earning 100,000 and you're only able to save 5,000, save that and see. After 5 days, you will have 25,000. After 10 days, it will be 50, even when you're earning 100. So it is a discipline in us to save money. We have to adopt it. And so, what is the background or the foundation for our money? It is having dreams and big dreams. Anytime you have small, small dreams, when I get money, I want to get to drink that bottle of Tascalaga or be able to afford that wine. Those are small, small dreams. You'll be able to get them and be, hopeless again. But if you have big dreams, those dreams will push you into getting, big things. I know of someone who used to fear so much having children. And the reason he used to fear is that, kids are very expensive and these women eat a lot. Before you know it, the food is finished, that we don't have this, the child is sick, my parents are home, they need this. And that always kept him away from relationships and having children. But the day his eyes were opened, I call it the light turning on. The day the light turned on, my goodness, he now wants a family. He wants to settle. I pray that all of us get to that place where we can handle money. Where is the money? Whatever it is that you're doing, I gave you an example of a man who sold pancakes. And all he was doing is selling pancakes. And he is now a millionaire. He started off on a wooden wheelbarrow to a bicycle, motorcycle, a tuk-tuk, and now he's got a car and he's selling pancakes from there. The thing is, when we dream and want to start off from where others are, have you ever gone to visit other people and you see their house having certain furniture, a certain arrangement, and you want exactly the same, but you've just started. You don't know how many years it has taken those people to get what you want right now. So I hope that we can all be inspired in knowing that we can all get money. We have abilities that God has given all of us. Some of us can sing. Others are good with our hands. You can do hair. But let's not all look at any job as being small. Do you know in those developed countries, or countries like America, or countries like United Kingdom, Ugandans live here when they are accountants and go and work there as cleaners? Why? Because the pay is good. Yeah? And because the pay is good, they are willing to stoop so low as clean and get that money. So that means whatever ability God has given you, just stick to it. If you're good at singing, just sing. God will bless you from that avenue of singing and you have a way of getting to your dream. There's also a problem when we are sending our children to school. You want them to become a certain thing because if they become doctors, they will get big money, forgetting he will study medicine and probably, he's not cut out for that and will do a small mistake and lose his license and never work again. There are so many things that can happen in life, but some of us have abilities. Some have abilities of encouraging others. Others have abilities with their hands to do carpentry, molding. You're good at marketing things. Whatever you're good at, do. Don't underestimate anything because that's the ability that God has given you, and that is what will pull you from being poor to becoming actually a wealthy person. So that covers where is the money. Money is all around us. There are those who are farmers and have made money out of just farming. They have their chickens, they have their tree. Actually, where is the money? Let us go deeper in where is the money. If you happen to have land, whether you inherited it or you can, do you know you can plant trees now? Yeah, like Suna who wrote it. You can, if you have family land somewhere, you can ask and plant trees. Yeah, there are different kinds of trees. There are those that grow quick, and you can be able to harvest them in a shorter time and get yourself some money. Or you can go out and lease land for maybe 7 years. You know your plants will grow, your trees will grow in 5 years. So you have your 300,000 lease land in the village at 200,000. Yeah, for a certain period, or maybe every year you pay a certain amount of money, because there are people who have land, big land, and they can't take care of all of it. You can lease it for every single year. You say every year I'll give you 100,000, or every year I'll give you 200, depending on how you strike your deals. Because in the village, land is cheap, and then you plant trees. Trees grow, and one tree can be cut, and you can get 50,000 out of it. You can get 30,000. Now, if you planted 1,000, just do the math and see the money that you'd get out of that. And the advantage of planting trees, you plant, and while you plant trees, you can also put in there maize, you can put in beans. But the moment the trees start growing, they choke these crops, and that if you've not harvested them after 3 months or 6, then they can't grow together. But the rate at which the grass grows in the trees that you have planted will be low. So they are less maintenance. They need less maintenance. So you can always be able to just, go and watch them. And what you do, you plant them in phases. You can plant these in January, and then in July, you plant another lot. That way, it becomes a constant source of income. While you're cutting these ones will be coming up. While you're cutting those, others will be coming up. So trees are one of those things that we can do. If you have children and they've not yet started school, you can plant trees and know that my kids will start in 3 years school. So you plant trees while you're looking for the wife, while you're looking for the girlfriend. By the time you find her, she gets pregnant and that child is born and goes actually to school. You'll be getting money from trees to pay for your child's fees. That means that area of stress is away from you and you can enjoy life. You can also, and those are things that do not need a lot of money or taking care of. Also, investing in goats. Goats are a very good investment. You can buy them because all they do is eat the weeds in the wild. You take them out, you get someone to take them out somewhere in the morning and in the evening, and then take them back in. Those are also cheap and easy to take care of, and they can give you meat, and they can give you, you can sell and get money. You can also rear rabbits. Rabbits are another thing. Rabbits, I reared rabbits one time, and rabbits are those things that do not need less maintenance. All you do is buy them vitamins and deworming. And guess what? I got to a point where I was not even deworming them with, these chemicals. You can deworm rabbits with the green grass. There is so much grass that can deworm rabbits. And all you do buy for them vitamins. And I never lost a rabbit from, sickness or anything. You just vaccinate them when they are about a certain age, just against flu and these small things. The very first period time when they are just born, and the rest you just reap money. There's a rabbit that could give me 13 rabbits in one go. There's one that I would wake up and this one has given birth to 13, the other one 12, the other one 8. And before I knew it, I had a big farm. It's just that those rabbits were not intended for commercial. They were intended for my kids to have as pets. But the thing got out of hand and they became so many. We had over 100, and yet we started off with 5. Now, if you see rabbits, one rabbit can be sold to you at 50,000. But the rate at which they give birth and multiply. So there are ways that you can invest your money. You just have to, find out what can bring me money, because money is everywhere. I also tried chicken rearing. the thing is, many times when I start off with these projects, I start off jokingly. I started off with 2 hens and 1 cock. I got them from the market and we brought them home. And the thing started laying eggs. Before we knew it, we were having eggs and we allowed some of them to hatch. And we had over 21. They were increasing. And every weekend, we would want to have some chicken. We would just slaughter and eat. So that goes to show me that there are so many things that we can do that can get us money if that is our goal. Now, that sorts where is the money. We go to the question, what age can we make money? My dears, don't be fooled. There is an age to which you can make money. And because there's an age to which you can make money, there is also an age to which you can enjoy your money. In Uganda, we say an age to which you can eat your money. And the Nigerians say eat your money. Oh. There are ages that we can make money. There's an age also that we can enjoy our money. Now, you can only make money, yeah, making, because that is your youthful time where you have all the time, you have all the energy, so you use that time. Any of us, anytime when you feel like, but right now I can really work, I can do this, I'm not ill. Anytime you're not ill, anytime you feel like you have the strength to work. Anytime you're not sick, work. If you can, work. Because there's going to be that time when you cannot. And so the money that you have worked over the years will come in to take care of you. True, there's an age to which you can work. Any age that you feel like you're still able to go out there and hustle is that age. There is no age limit. That means even at 60, if you feel well and able, you go out there, hustle, you can find that money and make it at an old age. There are so many film stars that I've seen come up in their 50s and 60s, and they've talked about them saying these ones rose to fame at a later age. Why? Age did not stop them from, becoming superstars or celebrities. So we are the ones that limit ourselves and say, I can't do this anymore. I'm too old for that. But at any age, you can make money. So if you have been one of those people thinking that time has run out, you can never make it. You can never leave poverty. You can never leave that area where you're staying. There is still time. As long as you're still alive, there is still time for you and you can make money. We just pray that God turns on the light in our lives and we get to know about when we should start, because it's also not so good when you're old and gray and weak and having to go out there to sweep roads, to go and apply for jobs. It is good at that age to be home with your grandkids and just have a good time. So that's an encouragement that as long as you're still well and able, go out there and hustle. If God has given you an ability, use it, because there'll be a time when you can't use it anymore. And so you eat of the sweat of your hands. So that sorts what age can we make money. Now, how to keep our money? How can you keep the money that you have earned? Through the right investments. Now, an example of an investment that we can all be for certain if we joined would still be having room is transport. Why would I say transport? Because, like it or not, everyone has got to move at some point. Even if you have a car. In Uganda, we had some high political figure who was shot, and guess who took him from that scene? It's a border guy. So transport is something that anyone can invest in and still be able to make money. However high that guy was, he got on a border and got home away from the scene and was safe. So transport, whether it is bus, whether it is buying buses, whether it's getting on train, getting on board taxis, Ubers, borders, tuk-tuks, any of those guys, you can't go wrong. So there are some things that we can really do and be right investments. Investing in doing enough research on what you're going to invest in. because there are so many things that we can invest in, but not all of them can bring returns at the end of the day. But also we can work smart, where you don't have to go and hustle, where you don't have to go and sweat, but let your money work for you. I believe in those things they call treasure trust funds. Those things are so good because you can monitor them yourself. They can't swindle you out of them. You go and read about them. But again, among them, there are those that are good, there are those that are not. But you have to, there's a way you can find legit ones because there are few, but you can really dig up on them and use them. Also, you can invest in real estate. You can say, but I have no money to invest in such a project. Yes, you have, and yes, you can. An example: if I can make sell jackfruit and I package it and take it to a restaurant to take it around. I take jackfruit around. Guess what will happen? If today I earn, or if I make juice and sell juices in the hot weather, and in the hot weather I sell fruits, guys, there is no job that is too small that you can't bring money. All of them can at the end of the day bring the same returns as those ones who are working in offices. We so much want those office jobs where you go, you wake up in the morning, you put on that suit and go and come back in the evening, and your boss is the determinant of how much you're going to end up with at the end of the month. But anything that you do for yourself, you are the one who determines how much you end up with. You choose to wake up so early, you will get the results from waking up so early. You choose to wake up late, you will be the one to reap the results of waking up late. And even closing off late, you'll be the one to reap the results. But the thing is, we trust so much in office jobs. We even train our children to work and become, uh, secretaries. And at the end of the month, they get 200,000. While your child can go out there and start designing clothes. And each cloth a person comes to design, you can charge them any money according to what you've put in. But the thing is, we were wired different by these colonizers into thinking we need to only get these white collar jobs where you say, I'm an auditor, I'm an accountant, but actually you are financially broke. We need to look also out of the box, because money is out there, but we all look for these jobs where you go and apply, and then they say every month we'll be giving you 200,000, and you settle, and you design yourself around the 200,000, and before you know it, years have gone. I know of someone also who said he worked on TV for years and was not even able to buy a plot of land. It's when he chose to leave those jobs and be self-employed that now he's got his own land and he's actually building. And you wonder how that happened. There are so many who are locked up in offices, stuck up in such kind of life. That life offers you a car on credit, you can also get a phone on credit. So you end up with the latest phone. Have you noticed that people who are trying or struggling financially end up with those shiny shoes? You find them in town, their shoes are nicely polished. They are struggling, but they want to give an impression they've made it. And these rich guys, you find them in these lousy shoes, and you're wondering, does he know of this place where they sell these shoes of 250,000 or 700,000? They do know, but they are putting their money where it can work for them. So if we can also learn how to invest our money, you get money and you put back money. Say like you earn 1 million and you invest, you put on the side 10% to give back. Guys, charity is good. You can give back, you can tithe, you can take off a percentage and give relatives, take off a percentage and save it. As long as you save it, there is no one who has given God and walked out with nothing. Learn to even give God and say, God, I'm going to give this in church. I'll give it. I'll do charity work. I'll give this to those who don't have. Or I'll help someone rise up. And before you know it, the moment they are saying, may God richly bless you, because you've helped them get out of a situation, God will truly bless you. But the thing is, we get all our money and we use it the way we have got it, all of it, and we go back to square one where we don't have anymore. So that is one way we can also get money, giving back. And these Americans learned it very well. And those people in those developed countries, they normally give back to society, where they help the poor, they help the needy, they, you know, help people who are struggling. So when you feel moved by that, do that, guys, and you'll see your life will change. The other one is, how can we lose money? There are so many ways we can lose our money. So many ways. First of all, pride that comes because you have got money. One thing that we need to learn is we not to show off when we have money, to learn to work in secrecy. I'll go back to the Bible. There is a man in the Bible, a king, yeah, in the Bible, who one time was visited by people from Babylon, and he took them around the palace and showed them the treasures of the riches of the kingdom. Took them around, showed them where the weapons are, everything that the kingdom owned as dear. He took them around and showed it to them. And there's a prophet who met him after and asked him, who are those people? And he said, well, I don't know much about them, but they were coming in from Babylon. And he said, what did you tell them? Well, I took them around. I showed them everything that we have and everything that the kingdom has. And guess what? The prophet told him, because you could not keep your mouth shut, one day they are going to come and take your children as slaves. They will take everything that is of wealth, or is wealth, it brings in wealth from the kingdom. And you will see they will also kill your children. So it is not from that bit of the Bible. I said I'll keep on referring to the Bible. It shows you that when you have accumulated wealth, when you have money, not to walk in pride and also not to be showing off, because trust me, there will always be someone who has got more than you do. There's always someone who has more than you do. Like it or not, you may be a millionaire, but there are those who are billionaires. And you may be a billionaire bragging, but there are those who are trillionaires. There are those who I don't even know how to pronounce them. They have money and they don't know what to do with. So that goes to teach us something, that when you have, how can we lose our money? An example, I have money and I walk around town showing it off. Someone, trust me, will come and make sure they kill me or carry me until they take away that money. Why? Because I'm showing off. So that is one way of losing money. Poor investment, lousy lifestyles where you're the party animal. You are always the one treating everyone out. You're always the one, telling them what you are going to earn, when it's coming. Those are ways that you can easily lose your money, because these people will try to work around you and always make sure when you have it, they don't leave you until you have nothing. And also setting standards that are real. You don't have to live in competition with others. You just do life as you. Just because your neighbors are eating, chicken every Tuesday, every day of the week, doesn't mean you go and stretch and do the same. You end up in loans. Eat what you can afford and trust time to bring you those things that you want. Once you have made your money, all these things that you're looking on from afar and admiring will come to you. But the thing is, we always set standards and want to be like other people. If we can learn to be ourselves, I will not drive a new car because my neighbor just got a new one. If mine that I've got is old and it still works, I will drive it until there is really need to buy a new one. I will not go for a new one. So those are some of the things that will keep us from losing our money. Also, living within our means. Yeah, you are working and you're earning 200,000, and you're interested in a woman who earns millions. You have to impress her. You have to, or you're hanging around people who earn millions. Each time they are drinking, they order for the best or most expensive alcohol, and you buy the same as well, knowing very well once you buy the first round, you can't afford the second one, and you don't even have transport back home. That is when I think we are not thinking when we are doing the things that we are doing. We need to really be at that place where we are realistic in our spending habits. Don't spend beyond your means. You're not in a race of spending, because once you get in that race, there are those who have bottomless accounts. Their accounts never dry. But because you don't know, remember where we started off from. There are those who inherited money in the ways on how people can get money. There are those who inherited money. There are those who, married well. There are those who have friends in high places. There are those who have been blessed by God. There are those who have stolen it, and so they have it today, and tomorrow they don't have it, but they are flashing it. There are so many ways people get money. So because we don't know how the other got their money, we pick our fights and pick them well. You don't have to be, I believe in pulling out of the crowd and then coming back once I'm shining, once I've made my money, once I've invested it, once I know I've got myself a piece of land, I've got myself some business, I've got myself this, then I come back. But the moment each time you have money and you're the party animal, you're the one buying for everyone and everyone is calling you boss, you are the man. The moment you're getting those praises, once that money runs out, you will look for those people who called you boss while you had, and they won't be around. So to avoid all that, start having goals. I will drink, but this will be how much I save. I will eat, but this is how much I will, be eating. You don't have to buy clothes every single week or every single month. What happened to the clothes you bought last month? I mean, if they are still working, keep them. Only buy because you need. Even the Bible says that God will supply all our needs according to his riches in glory. It does not say he will give us all that we want according to his riches in glory. It's all that we need. So you buy or spend when you need to. But if you don't need to spend, don't spend. It will keep you from unnecessary expenses. There are people who live in those developed countries that have credit cards. We don't have much of that system in Africa, except for a few countries. So people live in credit all their lives, and you find they have to pay for their house, their phone, their car, anything you look at that they've got, they are still paying for it. And sometimes they die and leave that burden to their children or their loved ones. So guys, because we are not in a race, live within your means, whereby I can only afford to buy, I can only afford to buy a dress every after 6 months. Go ahead and buy every after 6 months. I can only buy on Christmas. Go ahead and just buy on Christmas. It's okay. You don't have to prove to people that you've got money and so you spend it. There are many rich people. Have you noticed many rich people have those small phones? In Uganda, we call them they are small phones that have buttons on them. Many people don't know where to find them. Actually, someone has just reminded me they call it cavidity. Yeah, they are those cavidity phones. I don't know where this person also who has just reminded me got it from. They call them cavidity. They are small phones with buttons. Many rich people have those phones and they have smartphones. And it's not just the latest smartphone. You start buying phones chasing after the latest release, the latest number plate. That you get worn out. Sometimes you can't even afford it, but because you want to keep up with appearances, you want to keep up with standards, which standards you alone have set. Because no one will be like, how come she's now holding an iPhone 12 or 15 when there's already an iPhone 16? It's just measures that and standards that you have created for yourself. And so people are judging you and you're feeling judged and the pressure you have built on yourself. And so you're being pressurized. But run your race. Do what you feel you have to do or you can do. There are people who are working in the diaspora. I've lived away from my country before, and much as life is better there, money doesn't grow on streets. Those people work. Guys, if you're there and you've worked outside from home, go ahead and drop a comment. Remember, guys, this is a live chat, and drop a comment. Let me know where you're watching in from, and let us share. Or you can call in on +256 762 599 138 and give us your experience as well. But those people who work in those countries work so hard. And because they work so hard, uh, people in the home countries think because they send that money, it actually just grows on trees and they just send it. And you find they betray the trust of those people who send that money. That money is hard earned. Yeah. They wake up every day and do all kinds of work and go back to bed when they can't even feel their toes sometimes, or their feet are swollen. But we take it for granted at home, the people who receive the money, that even if I use this one, she will send again tomorrow. That money is hard earned. So those are ways we can get money, but ways of keeping that money also we learn how to save. Sooner, like we were talking, learning to save. Finding ways, even when you're earning 50,000, you can purpose out, get a tin and save 500 every week. 500 shillings. My dear, before you know it, that tin is heavy and you have money. I've seen it with my kids. They used to work for me when I used to have rabbits, and each time I would pay them 1,000. 1,000 each kennel they clean. And they started we started having meetings where they started saying, you need to increase our pay. 1,000 is not enough for each kennel. So I increased to 2,000. Okay. And they kept on complaining until I said, now you're fired. All of you are fired. I'm not going to spend beyond my earnings, because I wasn't earning on a daily. And these guys were earning. I was supposed to pay them on a daily. But they would save their coins. And Christmas would come. They opened their tins. One of my daughters, I would never forget, opened her tin and found about 100,000. She could not believe it. She felt she was the richest person ever. And she went to shop presents and she was buying something for her father and all of us. And she kept on saying, never put a price on daddy. Just, she was telling these ladies that were selling in the shops, how much is it? I'll pay for it. And the ladies got to a point where they started laughing, because later she checked and her money had run out. It goes to show you, whatever amount of money you have, if you do not invest it, you will lose it. It will go down and you go back to square one. So saving is paramount, guys, if we want to make it in this life and if we want to grow financially. There are different projects that we can set up. One of them that I talked about is the tree planting, rabbit rearing. I'm telling you these particular ones because these ones don't need much. Someone can tell you go into chickens. Chickens are good, but unless you have a daily income, those chickens can eat you dry until there's no money coming in. And yet when you start selling, they have a fixed price that is determined by the market out there. While if you plant your trees, you can decide that these ones are going for 60,000. If you don't like, leave it. These ones are going for 80,000. And the price is determined by you. But as opposed to some of these things as chicken rearing, chicken involves a lot. So if you don't have much money, don't go into chicken rearing. You can also go into transport, because every day people do move from one place to another, and the restrictions on transport are not so much. Requirements are straightforward. Once you get your money, you can buy a tuk-tuk, you can buy a boda, and have someone drive it for you and on a daily bring you money. But again, if you're going to go borders, you need someone credible that will ride your bike, because otherwise those guys also have stories that will suck you dry. So those are the ways we can keep our money. How can we lose our money? I told you, wrong investments, betting. We can lose our money if we choose to be the party animals, the ones who give out, who treat everyone to a good weekend, like today, and you're the one who is splashing, making a mess of the tables. That would get you there very fast. Also, there are these. There are so many things that can get us there, but also showing off a lot. When you show off, not everyone wishes you well, guys. Some just look at you and just don't like you and will work if given an opportunity to make sure you grasp and come to nothing. So if we keep it on the down low, it would be good for us. Does God have money? That is the next question that we are going to be looking at. Yes, God does have money. Like I said, He owns the whole world in His hands. How does He have money? Because everything that is on this world is His. He can lead you and guide you to where you can find money and to what you can do and get money. Ideas of those great men that invented light, that invented batteries, bulbs, these things that we so much now cannot do without. They were just ideas that God dropped to these people. And guess what? These ideas grew and made these people wealthy. You find about Google, you find about those people who came up with Twitter. They are all wealthy. Those are ideas. So God can give us ideas. God can give you money. In other words, He gives you an idea that leads you on the journey of making money. In Uganda, there is a man who, during the time of COVID, I know we still have COVID. Those of you who didn't know, guys, we need to keep cautious and take care. There's still COVID. There's a man who invented some drug that would help cope with COVID. And there was a fight over whether it's really working. But again, he made his money because each time you buy that medicine, his money is coming in. It's an idea that God gave him. So God can really give us those ideas that can create wealth for us. Does God recognize money? Yes, He does. An example is when Jesus was with His disciples and they got a fish. He was supposed to be paying taxes. They wanted to know whether they should be paying taxes. And He told them, give to Caesar what is Caesar's and to God what is God's. So it goes to show you that God knows about money, recognizes it, and He's the one who allows you to have it. If God has not permitted you to be wealthy, you will hustle through life. And everything you do, even when others did it and succeeded, you will fail. But if God has permitted it, you just do it. And voila, it's a thing of the past that you lack money. So we are encouraged to fall back to our God because He's the one who owns the whole world. He permits you, you get in His good books. He will allow you and you become wealthy. Yes, God recognizes money and it's from Him. It's not demonic. They say money is the root of all evil. Yes, it is true because the moment people have money, they start living like many celebrities that we are hearing about, the things they are into. Because the moment you get money, you start living in pride, thinking you don't need God, you are above God. You can even write your own Bible. You feel like you're untouchable because you've got money. Money has that tendency of making you feel oofed or puffed up. Yeah. But guess what? God has still got the final say. He's the one who permits you to live and see today. And because He permits you to live and see today, guess what? He's the one who decides that because you have lived, you will get this money, or you will not live today. And so the money you are hoping to get as your salary this month, you will not be able to see. So credit goes back to the big guy, guys. He's still God and He's still in charge. Can God give us money? Yes, He can. He can give us money. And how you know God can give you money? Even the fact that He has given you life and you're able to breathe in and out, the energy and the grace to move your leg in front and another one backward and move on. That is one opportunity He has allowed you to make money. So He can give money. God can literally give it to you. He can direct you where it is and you find it. I mean, there are these people in those developed countries who find gold and in their minerals in their pieces of land, and their governments allows them to use them or sell them and get money. So God can guide you to where money is and you do it. Even when you're going to invest, you ask God, what investment can I get into? How much can I invest in? Who can I invest with? Who is the right person to deal with? God can lead us in all that. The problem is we invest and then pray later. It's like you've already started driving the car and then you want the petrol guy to come and give you gas for your car. That is, it's ridiculous. You need to pass by the petrol station first before you drive so that there is gas in your car to be able to go where you're going. Now, if we do it the other way around and I first get where I'm going, try to get where I'm going, and then go and buy gas, chances I may not reach because it's knowing where I'm going, excuse me, and approaching the one who would help me get there and knows where to go, like the GPS, yeah, that they call it what, that guides us when you're driving, or uh, sat nav that guides you when you're driving. He's the one that you type in where you're going and they tell you. You do that before you start the journey, and then he's able to guide you to where you're going, but not get halfway there, get lost, and then you start typing. You can do that because that's AI. But with God, we need to trust that He's the one who gives us money. Now, does good deeds increase our wealth or money? Yes, good deeds does increase our wealth and money. How does it do it, guys? Have you ever helped someone and that person said, may God bless you. Thank you so much for paying fees for my child. And because you have done it and that person has said from a pure heart, blessings come. There are so many crooked government officials, so many government officials that are crooked, but they've got avenues where they help. You hear they have orphanages or they have a group of kids that they help out with fees. And as these kids are going to school and studying and ending one year and starting another, they pray that may God bless that man. I don't care whether he has stolen, but because he has helped me go to school, may God bless them. And God somehow helps them when actually they would be walking with their curses because they took what does not belong to them. So it goes to show you good deeds really do bring results. When you have, try and share what you've got because you never know when it would come back to help you out. Good deeds do really come back to us. Now, guys, you need to remember that when we drop up to 10, then I'll sign off. Otherwise, until then, let us try and continue. And I am yet to hear from you. This is a live chat. Guys, feel free to drop in a comment. Your experiences about money, your questions about money or wealth, or how you have made your own money. It doesn't hurt. Just drop in a text, a comment, and we'll be able to know. I can see you all watching. So go ahead and drop a comment. Let me know how life has treated you. You can even feel free to go outside what we are talking about and give your own experiences. Money can do so much for us, and the lack of it can also do so much to us. When you have money, you can literally afford anything, better health, better housing, better accommodation. But the thing is, we have a problem. We never realize there's a time when we can keep that money, when we can save so much, especially when you've not yet married, you've not yet had children, you've not yet, uh, you know, gotten responsibilities. Those are good times. If you didn't have indicators, those are good times to start saving because once you start saving, then you will be guaranteed that when the times where you need money come, you will have from your stockpile something that will help you, carry forward. But the thing is, we tend to, live for the day. It is good to live for the day. But again, mindful that tomorrow will come knocking, and so you save some for the rainy day. I'm constantly checking my mic to see if it's still on. When you get to hear my sound go off, please let me know so I work on it. What are some of the things we can do to grow our health? We handled that one already. when Suna dropped in his comment. Guys, go on and let me know about your experiences about money, whether it's how you made it or how you lost it. Drop in the comments. We'll be able to read it. It's a live chat and we'll be able to discuss together and together grow ourselves because it doesn't hurt. I'm not talking because I've got all the money in the world or a lot of money. I'm talking from experience that I thought if we shared that topic, because someone dropped in a comment that they would want to hear a discussion about money. So next Friday, you can also drop in a comment and let us know. You can drop in actually in the week what you would want us to discuss. And then Friday, the live chat will be about that topic that has been sent in. Otherwise, we switched from Sunday and started Friday simply because of unavoidable circumstances. We do Friday at 9:30 all the way up to when we drop our views. So once we drop, that number will keep on going up if you stay quiet. So let me know where you're watching from, your experiences, and what life has taught you regarding a few things here or there. All of us, life teaches us lessons, but what is it that you are learning from your life? Because when the topic is money, everyone has got a story to tell. Either you got into money sometime, blew it, and now you're on square one, or you're on your way to getting it. Yeah, there are so many cases. Like there's someone who told me, what do you think about mobile money? Mobile money, those of you who are watching in from Uganda, you know what it is. I don't know whether other countries do mobile money. Please let me know where you're watching from, whether your country does do mobile money. But in Uganda, we do mobile money. And someone was asking, what about investing in mobile money? Mobile money is a good investment, very lucrative, but it's very, very risky. Very, very risky, because cases that we have had in Uganda where people have actually attacked those who do deal in mobile money are so many. They come in, they shoot you gunpoint and take all that you have. And at times people have lost their lives as well in the process trying to protect the money, because probably that's not their money, it's their boss's money, and there's no way they can explain it to the boss that the money was taken by robbers. So they hang on to the money, and in the process they lose their lives. So there's that risk, guys. It is lucrative but very risky. There's also one who talked about that when you're dealing in mobile money, there's a lot of fake money in circulation. I think there are people who are coming in and know how to print fake money and are putting it into circulation. So when you have exchanged and actually put real money on their phones, they leave you with the fake money only for you to take it to the bank and it's rejected. And that's a big, big, big loss. So it is risky. It's a good investment, but very, very risky. You need to be able to do it from a safe place. But these people have become so calculative that they can see that you're working in mobile money, you're in a safe place, and they sit you out. They wait for you to, end your shift and try and go home. They gun you down and take all that you have. They've done that. And there are those who wait for you as you're going to the bank to deposit so that you can get your float money that you used to give out to people. So mobile money is good, but very risky. Otherwise, it's one of those businesses that anyone could start and earn money immediately. Because the moment you have your 100,000 on the phone and 25 people come in wanting to either send or withdraw 20 or 15,000, you already made small money off that. And at the end of the day, it would make you 5,000 richer than you started. But because of the risk, I would not recommend it to anyone. Guys, I'm waiting for you to drop in comments as well. Let me know your experiences and your take about money. I can't be the only person talking. I need to know also your opinions about money, your experiences about money, investing money. But also there is that bit of people who have lost uh, relationships, because at one point you had a job and then you lost it, and that loved one left because now you're not up to standard, you're not good enough, you're not measuring up, and they left you. There are those experiences as well. Because I didn't have money, the person I loved went away. Or because I have money now, I can literally get just about anyone. So money works either way. It can either keep them away because you don't have it, or it can bring so many because you have too much. So that's also something that we should be on a lookout for. Money really makes our lives easier. And if we have it, we really should learn how to keep it. Because if we don't learn how to keep it, we will definitely lose it. I've heard stories of people who have been in families with money, and once the one who made the money dies, then you get to hear about the children, how they are grassing, how they are walking around homeless, and all they can say that used to be our building, and no one can believe it, that they are actually bonds of the owner who was once the owner of whatever it is that people are talking about, that is working, you know, bringing in money now. So we should learn ways of keeping our money. Sooner, I hope you're still there. If you're there, please let me know. And Audrey, if you're still there, let me know. Treasure, if you're there. Hi to everyone. Hi to Jasper, who is watching every single time. Guys, I need to hear your experiences as well about money and what you have to say about money. I'll leave the floor open to anyone now who has something to say about money and their life experiences. Feel free to call in on +256 762 599138. Feel free to call in. It's a live chat and let's hear your experiences. And if you drop a comment, I'll still read it. Because if you're just watching, I need to know who is watching and watching from where before we continue and discuss anything else. I need to know who is watching. There's actually Audrey. I see a comment here. And she's saying, as a teenager, I would love to be money independent, but it is hard and difficult to do so when I have no sources. How can I solve this? Wow. As a teenager, you'd love to have to be money independent, but it's hard and difficult to do so when I have no resources. How can I solve this? There is no one who is too young to make money. It is never too late. But the thing is, even as teenagers, there are some teenagers who have standards. I can't do that. I can't. No, no, no. And you tell them, can you work as a waitress? No, I can't. No, 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 no. I can't do that. Can you, go and do a cleaning job? No, 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 no. As a teenager, teenagers tend to have standards. And also the other thing that teenagers have is they are not reliable. They don't know, they don't value time. They are not reliable. They think they can go to work as and when they want to and leave when they want to. So no one wants to employ them. They don't know timekeeping. They think you can wake up and just go to work, and then when you feel tired, you can go home. And some of them just like sleeping. They sleep and wake up when the time for actually working is almost gone, and they think they will be paid at the end of the day. So as a teenager, those are some of the things you can revise if you want to work. Make sure time is of essence to you. Make sure you are reliable. You're someone can count on, and someone who is not picky about jobs. Because the moment you're picky about jobs, you'll miss that job that could end you up there. There's a story that I was told of a man who used to just come and do the mow the lawn of the compound of a person, an older woman. And he would come every time and just cut the grass, make sure the flowers are trimmed. And this man did this every single time. And whenever the woman would have a cup of juice, a glass of juice would give him. And that's all he ever asked for. But he would come every after 2 weeks, he would come and cut the grass and trim the flowers of that elderly woman. And one time that woman passed. And guess who she left her house to? And she first said, God, I'm going to die. I know I have a short time to die, but before I do, I want you to help me pay up my debt with the bank, because that house was on loan. Yeah. So what this woman did was pay up. God helped her somehow. I don't know how, whether through her pension, and she paid up the whole house on mortgage. And after that, this woman was able to leave that house to that man who always came and trimmed the compound and trimmed the flowers and cut the compound. So also being open to doing things for charity as a young person, because you've got a lot of energy, I'm assuming. And before you know it, opportunities will present themselves, because then people will see you're reliable, you keep time. It will even give you skills on how to relate with people. And before you know it, when there's an opportunity for someone to work, you'll be the first one forwarded. But also not being picky about what jobs. Teenagers tend to do that a lot. No, I can't do that. This is how people at my school find me. This is how I can't do this. I can't go there. I can't, if that is not in your vocabulary, then you stand a better chance of increasing those opportunities. Go looking out to places that employ seasonal people. Places like petrol stations, you can go and ask for a job and they'll get you a job if you don't mind working behind the pump. And also working in supermarkets, because they need people who work in the aisles. And there's literally so much that we can do. If you're at home, Audrey, you can ask your parents, if you have them, how you can help, and ask them to pay you. In things that you ideally would not be expected to do them and ask them to pay you. If there are so many ways. If you're handy, you can do beadwork and sell it. If you have the voice, you can sing. Or if you know how to write music, you can write music. Have someone guide you on what you're good at. If you know how to bake, you can bake and sell to your friends at school. If you know how to dance, you can train others in dancing. There's so much. That, I hope, answers you, Audrey. Sorry, I've taken long without answering you. I went off to Suna's question, and I hope others that are watching also can drop in a comment. Otherwise, I'm watching our numbers. If they drop up to 10, we will sign off. I think you have had enough of money, and we'll call it a night. Otherwise, guys, call in. Let me know where you're watching in from. Let me know who you are, where you're watching in from. The topic today is money, all about money. How does money help your relationship? How does money raise your class or standard in society? What are your experiences with money? Have you had it at some point and lost it? Have you just got it and you don't know what to do with it? Guys, it is key we have goals. If you don't have goals, that money can get on your head. That's how we call it in Uganda, or phrase it in Uganda. Like you have money and you don't know what to do with it. Guess what? You end up making wrong decisions and only regret later. So what we can do is find the right things that we can do before it comes. Dream and dream big. If you dream big, you're guaranteed that when that money comes, you know exactly what to do with it. But when you don't dream, When money comes, you don't know what to do, you just waste it. And then you become one of those people who say, I one time had money, and no one can believe it. You've ever had money. Why? Because you don't look like someone who is talking, I earned millions. You need to invest for tomorrow. That is key, guys. Once you have money saved, you are not afraid of tomorrow. But when you don't have savings, you are worried. What if I have children? What if they go to school? What if? But that does not mean those worries and fears stop existing. They remain. But guess what? Because you have made arrangements for them, you are not overridden by them. Another thing that people do is, I always advise my friends that when you're finding someone to marry, don't, stretch up so high to reach up to this person. If that person is way above your league, stay away from them. If that person is way beneath you, stay away from them, because all these people will either bring you down, yeah, to their level, or you will strain so hard to reach up to them. Like you're interested in someone who earns millions and you earn thousands. You will end up borrowing from your neighbors, borrowing from all the shops that are around you, borrowing from anyone who has ever known. Sorry, there was a glitch in my data, sorry, in my connection, but I think it is sorted now. Now, anytime you get someone who is way above you, you're bound to stretch financially and strain your finances. And anytime you get someone who is so much beneath you, because I know of people who want people who are not exposed. That way they can easily control them, they can easily manipulate. Those people will become a burden to you because you're not at the same reasoning reasoning capacity. They will always be saying things that do not connect. You want to buy land, they are thinking of buying the latest phone. You're thinking of, building, they are thinking, let us just go and eat out. They will always pull you down. Get someone who is at your level. Yeah. If you're looking for a partner in a relationship, get someone who is at your level where you can flow together. You're talking about buying land, they get it because they realize now is the time for buying. Later, there won't be any time. There's something that I also realized about us who are living in Uganda. Like I said, I live in Uganda and we joined the East African community. In the East African community, it allows people who are living in Rwanda, Kenya, Tanzania, and Burundi, Tanzania, to freely buy land from Uganda, just as we are free to buy land from their countries. But guess what? There is more land in Uganda than there is in Kenya still available for sale. So many of them are going to come into the country and buy. Why? Because they've saved and are able to buy. But us, Ugandans, are foolishly selling away all that we have because someone is coming. You don't remember how much your father paid for this piece of land, and so you sell it because you don't remember how much it went for, because you didn't buy it, or because you bought it 2 million. Now someone is coming to give you 3, so you think you've made a big difference, so you can sell. That is foolishness that will in the end cost you a lot. One thing we have to realize that the world that we are living in, or the planet Earth, is not new. Now, if God has allowed you to own even a small piece like this of it, through your hard work of saving, through your diligence, you've shown God you can manage land. You want land. First of all, guys, we need to want these things. That's why I said we need to dream. Dream. Yeah, if you want to have land, dream of it. Say, I want to have land in this place. There you work and work hard. Each time you work, you save. That will be your push button to get that piece of land that you want so much to get. But if you don't have dreams, you will live where you're living right now, and you get to an age where you can't work anymore to pay for the place where you're living, and then the landlord will send you away, and you end back in the village, and which village is not even yours, your neighbor's village, because you sold off what you had. Now, because of the East African community, we are all encouraged to work and hold on to what we have. build it, transform it. Even if you have a piece of land that is way in the village, because there are so many pieces of land up for sale in, outside, up country, or in the outskirts of town, or what we call the city. There are so many pieces like that, and they are cheaper. So you can find pieces of land. If right now it's going for 2 million, buy it, keep it. Because of the East African community, foreigners are going to come in, if they have not already come in, and they'll be looking for land to buy, for houses to rent. Places that are looking like villages right now will not be villages. Places that are looking like they are not developed will be developed, because they will come in with the money. Roads will get better, schools will come up. And guess what? Because where there is people and where there is money, there is development. So I'm just giving someone hope not to shy away from buying land because it's very far. It looks far now because of where you're living. But what is it far from anyway? If it is not far from development, it's not far. As long as there are hospitals, it is going to become something else in time to come, because Kenya is already now worked on its systems. It's the land is already bought. There are hospitals, there are roads, good roads. So Kenyans are flooding in here with their money to invest, and they are looking for places to live, to rent. Go on, hold on to your land with the little money that you have. Start off with one-roomed houses. Someone will come and rent them. It's unbelievable, but someone will come, build them, keep them there. They will not rot. Property does not rot. It just appreciates. Land does not depreciate, it appreciates. It depreciates when the properties that are developed on the piece of land are not any good. But if they are good, guys, you are guaranteed to have more money coming in the following year. I remember where we bought for that a brother of mine. When we went to buy, there was no one. Before we could even put up anything, people were starting to build, and everyone is doing the same. And now the value of that piece of land has gone up, I think 10 times high. It's now going to become a gated place where, unless you have a gate, you're in that gate, you cannot access. And every one of them has to have a number just to access. But while we were getting it, it was a plain piece of property. It was an estate, clear, but now it is changed. So if you have money now, go on and buy land. I would advise you to buy land. Don't care where it is, buy it. Countries that have developed don't have villages anymore. Everywhere is good to settle, everywhere is good, and you can live there. But right now, you may not be able to live there. Buy that land and keep it. Give it 2 years. Go check on it. You'll be surprised. And you'll be glad you bought that land. So buy it and just keep quiet and you sit on that one. Work and get money and then put up something on there. In the meantime, you can put up vegetables that bring in money quickly. And as you wait, don't put on something permanent if you have plans to develop it in next year. But if it's in a short time, put on something. Put on vegetables, they grow in 3 months, and you'll still be getting money as your land is waiting for whatever is coming up. But because of the East African community, I'm telling you guys, anyone who has land will not be poor in time to come if they don't sell. A time is going to come when it's hard to live in Kampala or in Uganda because the standard of living will go up. Kenya has already gone through that, and there are places where if you don't have, and my friends in Rwanda are going through the same. So if you happen to have and God has blessed you with land, don't be quick to sell unless you're a property dealer. But if you're not, hang on to your peace and you'll be surprised. A few years down the line, it will be valued maybe 10 times even what it was before. We're hoping someone who has just joined in drops in a comment and lets me know about their life experience. I see here Uh, do you think it was God's will? Who is this one? Okay. Okay. Jemima says, I was told to go to the shop once and I dropped money on the way and I couldn't find it after. I hope the person who picked it really needed it. I hope the person who picked it really needed it. Do you think it was God's will? There are so many things that happen by coincidence, but God is never surprised about what happens to us. Whether you dropped money, first of all, sorry about, about your dropping the money. It happens to all of us. Every one of us has lost money at some point. But guess what? Whether the person when you dropped it needed it, we can never know. But I trust that whoever picked it, God had intended for them to get it that way. It is so easy for us to blame ourselves, blame God for what has gone wrong with us. But when it's all in the perfect will of God, probably someone was going to go hungry. I know also you needed your money, but maybe not as much as the one God gave it to. Probably that person had prayed, God, I want money. I don't know. I have to, you know, find food for my kids today, and I don't know where food will come from. And God decided, I'll make a way for you, and you are that means to an end for this person. Yeah, we could trust that it was probably the will of God for you to drop it and someone else gets. I don't know whether you managed to explain. You said I was told to go to the shop. I know you were sent and then you dropped the money. I hope it went well with you when you dropped that money. And Audrey says it's okay. Audrey says it's okay. She answers you that it's okay. Yeah, God was behind your dropping that. Believe it, He was behind it. Because everything happens for a reason. There is nothing that happens under the sun by accident. Even the fact that you've tuned in today is a real sign that God has intended that you tune in. Because there are those who are not able to, there are those who are out partying, but God has intended that you tune in today and probably listen. And while you're at that, I'll tell you about this channel. This channel is all about reading the Bible on a daily basis. As the Holy Spirit leads, we read the Bible we started off from Genesis, and our drive is to go all the way up to Revelation. But right now we are in Job, and if you have time, guys, go ahead and tune in and read with us the Bible. It will help you understand the Bible for yourself, where you're able to, relate and understand God better on a small scale, because the numbers are not so big. It's not like you're in church where they're in a hurry. It's just a chapter and we go through it, and the words that you read will be imprinted and you'll not forget them. So I encourage you to subscribe when you have read with us. And if you feel blessed, again, to go ahead and subscribe and share the link with friends and those who want to know about the Bible, want to know about God, but don't know where to start off from. Yeah, you can go ahead and share with them. And together, let us grow ourselves. I've also got another channel. It's called Winfred Cooking at Home Made Easy. If you feel like you want to flip up meals at home, you just want to, you're bored and you want to look at some food, you're wondering, how can I have a good meal that is affordable but not out of the pocket too much? Yeah, that channel is there. Winfred Cooking at Home Made Easy. I've also got building projects. That one was birthed because of my brother. He wanted, uh, I pushed him to start building or buy land. So you on that channel, you'll be able to see his journey where he started off. Uh, when we got the land, when the land was vacant, the progress on the land. Yeah, that is also another channel. Otherwise, guys, I've talked about myself. I'm yet to hear from someone else. Thank you, Jemima, for sharing. Thank you, Suna, for sharing. Thank you, Jadine for sharing. Thank you, Jasper, for sharing. Guys, I told you when our numbers drop up to 10, I'll sign out, but I think I'll have to raise that number to 15 because you're not commenting. I need to know who is watching, where you're watching from, how have you experienced life. You can even deviate from the topic of it's all about money and talk about yourself. Let us know what you're thinking, how you're dealing with life, where you're watching from, how has life treated you, your life experiences. Go ahead and drop in the comments. It's a live chat, so you can drop in your comment or even feel free to call in on +256 762 599138. We will be able to pick you up and we'll hear your nice voice. Otherwise, I'm waiting for your comments. Let's hear what you have to say. And together, let us encourage each other. I'm from Uganda. I'm an accountant, but right now I call myself a home executive. Do you know what that is? Oh, it means I'm a stay-home mom. I take care of my kids until I see they are good, and then I will see what God is leading me to do. But I'm an accountant. So you can also tell me about yourselves. I'm a home executive. Doesn't that sound posh? It sounds like I'm doing something which is what I'm actually doing. I'm doing something important, staying home and taking care of my kids. And also, you feel free to tell me about your experiences and your life. Otherwise, when our numbers drop up to 15, now I'll put the number up. I will sign off and let you go off to bed or go enjoy your weekend. Otherwise, tell me about life and how you found your life. We are talking about money. Back to the issue of money. There are people who have tried to go leave the country and go and work, and life is not easy where they are working. I know when you're leaving the country, they tell you you need to have a next of kin who will sign up for your money as it comes in. That is all true and that is all good. But again, there is nothing that stops you from just listing them and putting a number of either your other number. Say like you have two lines. I have a line on MTN or Airtel, and then I just as of next of kin when actually, find a way. But I've had so many stories of people who have gone off to work and send their money home. And these people have played with their money. It's hard earned money, and all your hard sweat money is lost by this person who comes, is probably a relative, and you come back home after 2 years, 5 years, and there's nothing. It's so disappointing. So I encourage you, if you have anyone who can help you get land, don't get land that is of lease, but get land which is titled, and that way you will be able to when you have titled land, you'll be able to know that for sure you own it. But also before you do that, you run a check. There is a check that you can run using a code, a barcode, to find out whether that land is legally owned by the person selling it to you. Because many people have been swindled out of their land or their money. And yet the land, whoever sold them land was not the real owner of the land. And in future, you find they are sending you away after you thought it was your piece of land. So I encourage you, run checks before you buy, because there are ways of finding out whether that land is really belongs to the one selling. And then once you've bought that land, secure it off by either building a perimeter wall around it, because that way, even if there is no one to take care of the land, it won't go anywhere. I remember when my brother was building a perimeter wall on his land, the neighbor had city cameras, and he called his brother and said, "You have to come because our neighbors are putting a perimeter wall." I'm made to understand that even when you own land and you have the titles, someone can actually take that land from you. So you come and put a perimeter wall also around our land because it was just bare land. But he fenced it off. That way, even if he's not around, let the bush grow and exceed the wall, but it is safe. Because there are people who also come, because now we have land grabbers. All they have to do is find a piece of land that is vacant and start processing paperwork and start building. And before you know it, you're in court, spending money that you don't have, trying to get back the land that you already paid for. So I encourage, if you've bought land, because of the East African community in Uganda, if you've bought land in Uganda, secure it off with a perimeter wall, something that marks it. But a perimeter wall will be best, and just chill. Take your time, try and raise money to develop it. And then after that, you can, when you're good and ready, you can start doing serious things of it. But again, you can also plant, like I said, trees. You can plant vegetables. You can lease it out to someone who comes and digs in there things that are temporal and gives you a monthly pay. Yeah, that's one way your land can work for you. You can lease it out to these people who want to plant seasonal crops like beans, groundnuts, those things that they are perishables. And in 3 months they are off. So they can say, in 3 months I'll give you maybe 500,000, and they dig on your ground. And in those 3 months, as you're working where you are, say like you're not in Uganda, you're overseas, you're in Dubai, you're in Saudi Arabia, you're in Qatar, wherever it is that you are, that money will be coming in for you on your land. You really put a perimeter wall, this person is coming in and leasing it every 3 months, paying you a certain amount of money. If you don't have time to be there, paying someone, making sure the land is, there are no weeds in your crops, you can go ahead and just lease out your land. And once you've leased it out, you'll be able to get money as you get more money to develop it further. But lease it out to someone who puts in temporal things like vegetables, and you'll be able to use and enjoy your land. What else haven't we talked about regarding money? I see our numbers are slowly dropping. Like I said, if we drop and go all the way up to 15, I will sign out and we'll call it a Friday. So guys, I don't know about you. Let me know where you're watching in from, who you are, and how you're dealing with life, your experiences. The numbers are dropping. I see we are on 17. If we get to 15, I'll sign off. So go ahead, guys, and either say something so I know you're watching, or tell me where you're watching from, and or share your life experiences. This is a live chat, guys, and you can feel free to call in and share your experience, or drop in the comment section. We'll be able to read your comments sooner. Are you there? You're quiet. I need to know that you're still there. I need to know who is watching. If you've gone off to bed, I need to know still, so that I also can start planning to go and enjoy what is left of my Friday night. I continue to thank you guys who have watched from the very beginning up to now. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much. Those of you who are subscribed, thank you. Those of you who have shared and told friends about the channel. Now I'm waiting to hear your opinions as well. Jasper says, what are your thoughts on selling land? I've just talked about selling land. It's not a wise decision. But if you find yourself pushed to the wall and all you have is land and you want to get out of a predicament, you always should value it double the price. If you got it, actually not even double, you should be able to sell it to be. If I was the one selling my land, I would first of all look around and see what would it cost me to get a replacement of the land I want to sell. It should be that I'm selling to get a better piece, not to get more money, to get a better piece, or I'm selling to be able to solve the problem and still get another piece, either equally as good, or I'll be selling to get out of the predicament and also getting a replacement, not selling because, I don't remember how much I paid or I almost paid, got it for free. So I will just get any money will do. No, it has to be that whatever you're paying, you're getting in return is either going to help you get a replacement and also solve your problem, or it is going to get you other pieces of land. There you become a property person, property agent. You're dealing in property. But I wouldn't agree with anyone who sells land, whether you inherited it, whether